another blind kid.
You're
And
blind.
Birds.
Just
And I'm
blind
blind.
everyone.
I'm just gonna like sleight of hand leash them on like the retractable leashes.
Are you putting
Try
child
me.
leashes?
Or like get a mage hand going and just like,
Oh my
corral it
God.
a little bit.
You know those like New York City dog walkers that have like 8 dogs or like a herd of dogs? I've never heard of blind children.
Oh my god. There's only 2 of us.
I'm gonna
Bill's blind children walking service? What the fuck, Alex?
okay, it's not so much a walking service. It's more, I'm just gonna collect blind children.
Like a field trip.
I don't want to
Like
go
a
with
blind
this field trip.
school.
Alex, that's called kidnapping.
I don't want to go on this trip. I didn't agree to this.
I mean, depending on who you ask, you can also just be surprise adoption.
Yeah. It's only okay if you yell surprise first.
Oh my god!
Listen, they're all technically adults now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a cult.
Yeah, now it's just a cult. It's like a combination of the Magic School Bus and what's her face from The Walking Dead that had the 2 zombies on the chains.
Are you listening to yourself right now?
All I'm saying, you could certainly try.
I'll just be like, perceive you later, bitch.
And then he just disappears.
Yeah, so about bringing you guys all together, I'm gonna have to rethink this entire campaign.
Oops.
Just don't put us together.
You don't want me to hang out with the blind boys?
I don't. You can do whatever you want.
I'm not gonna have a herd of blind children. Don't worry, Addison.
Yeah, you're only gonna have
She
2.
says that now.
I know.
Shit happens.
Yeah, she's got to wait until Aston blinds Base and I.
I mean, if Verthandi and Basye happen to go blind,
I mean, my father figure is half blind, so...
there you go.
Verthandi's like the kid who's on like fucking steroids. It's just like like pulling the leash and like freaking out. And I'm the one that like fights everything and growls at the people who walk by.
Verthandi's the one that walks you. You don't walk it.
Yeah.
The one that you have to drag behind you.
Yeah, Base just goes full on limp and just is like, drag me.
There's probably a little bit of kicking and scratching.
Oh yeah, a little bit here and there.
Wow, Alex, you've solved my campaign puzzle. That was the end game all fucking long. And Sarah was going to be the NPC that was child services to come teach them all the away from you.
That's Sarah's real job here.
Yeah.
Grumpy mom.
Sarah's fantasy child services.
It's like Lilo and Stitch, pretty much. Like when they
Yeah,
see
yeah.
there's a bunch of aliens, the child services guy is just like, no.
Yikes.
Oh
Alright.
god.
Alright, are we ready to hop back in, crew?
Yeah.
Dinner, so I'm happy now.
Alright, bye Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Okay,
Alright.
so...
What have these clowns been up to?
So many things.
You know, stuff and things. Definitely not stealing books from anyone's library.
Stealing books from me?
And trying to steal other things from other people.
And get your wrist broken.
I did get my wrist broken. Fractured. It was fractured. By my brother. By an 11-year-old that I got in a fight with.
Proud. I'm excited to meet the brother.
So, based on where I left off with you guys, you had been slowly kind of circling. You started at the top of Saxalon and been slowly moving your way around, gathering little pieces of information, training montage on and off a ship, stuff and things. But you have finally gathered enough sort of pieces of information from the right people that you have a pretty good idea where Hadrian is being, I use the word kept, but in the, I mean kept not necessarily in like a in prison malicious way, more of a let's keep guy who, like, subdued the fucking coup. Safe.
Witness protection program.
Essentially.
And he
Huh?
I said he almost like died too, so he's probably not doing so well health wise.
Yeah, he's definitely enjoying his vacation. But he is. Let me pull my notes back up. He's in an outpost that it's very, very, very neutral territory, controlled by Kilek. He is. If you look at your maps, if you care to know, he's right on the river where the Osseria, the Rakil, and the Kilek sort of territories like merge, like that little point. He's at an outpost called Dawnland Hold. And you guys have received information that he is being looked after there. How would you like to proceed?
We're going there.
Okay.
Do I know if the skyship dock there? Do I have to dock somewhere else and then go there?
It's on the water. You can plop your ship down in the water.
Cool.
So you plop your ship down in the water, and a very like Lincoln Log looking settlement, or not a settlement, but like outpost sort of greets you. It's 2 or 3 buildings smushed together with a pretty high fence around it. Part of that fence encloses like a dock area. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze to land. You don't try and land in this closed off section. You have to land on the outside of it. But when you do, there's guards stationed at the top of this fence, and one calls out, "State your business!"
I'm here to see Hadrian!
Who?
Let me in!
Please, name yourself.
Base career of the career clan.
And Captain Verthandi of the Nebulous Sky!
The 3 guards that are kind of up on this fence kind of look at each other, and like there's a faint murmuring between them, and the one kind of goes, and the other one goes, and he scuttles off down the fence. He comes back a moment later, and they talk amongst themselves, and the guy goes, "All right," and they both, or they sort of divide, and the one disappears down behind the fence, and the logs that make up this barrier, a section of them sinks down into the water to allow you to come into the dock.
See, I told you it would work, Faye. Go in.
Okay. So you guide your ship into this dock area. Excuse me. And you pull up to the dock, and there's a very kind-looking Dragonborn lady who is brass, and she's standing on the dock with 1 or 2 guards, and she's, yeah.
Do I recognize her at all?
No.
Cool. I'm gonna settle down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold my hand out to her. Say, "Hi,
Mhm.
I'm Verthandi, and I'm here to see my very best, not best friend, my very good friend Hadrian."
She holds her hand out, and she shakes yours, and she says, "Oh, yes, Hadrian has spoken of you, my lady. He's doing his best. Not entirely sure how you found out that he was here. But,
Very hard and far and wide, and I would really like to talk to him, please.
I don't mean to be rude. Is there something you can tell me that would prove your authenticity?
Prove my authenticity?
Yes, he's been kept under certain regulations, as it were. Not many people are allowed to see him.
Well, if he's mentioned me at all, you would know that he calls me Little Star. I'm probably the only person that knows that, besides maybe my best friend Base. So does that work?
She kind of takes a second, and she thinks. She goes, yes, I believe that would suffice. If you would follow me. She turns, and the guards get behind you two, and she leads you off this dock and through a set of doors, and the building that it kind of opens into, it's a series of stairs that go as much of a spiral staircase as you can get in a square building. Square, that go up, and at a couple points along the far wall, there are other openings into the building beyond. You can kind of get a sense that these buildings smushed together are very, like, Warren-like. There isn't a lot of space in between them. But she, instead of leading up these staircases, she begins to lead you down, and you notice the color of the wood begin to shift as you start going down, like, underground. You start to gather that this sort of outpost, at least this underbelly area, has been built into the side of the riverbed. Riverside, sure. Has been built into the riverside. There are a few others walking around, not many, but she continues to lead you down, and after a few moments, you reach a door which opens into a pathway. She takes a torch off the wall and lights it, and begins walking. As she's going, she sort of turns and looks at you. He's been badly wounded, and we're doing what we can for him, but he insists some of the healing be done naturally, against some of our healers' advice, but we can't heal him against his will, as it were.
He's Hadrian. That sounds like him. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's always okay.
She continues walking another few minutes, and she eventually reaches, or not minutes, but a few moments, she reaches a door. Before she opens the door, he turns again to you. I am just going to see if he is strong enough to be seeing visitors right now, if that's all right. Okay. She hands you the torch, opens the door, and disappears inside. When she opens the door, it's a little disorienting, as you know you've gone underground, but the room beyond is filled with light. And not just like torch light, it looks like natural light. But the door quickly shuts. She's gone only a moment before you hear from the other side of the door, "Little Star! Oh, come in!"
She's raising
bursting open the door. Like, from the ground, she's bursting open the door.
Yeah, the door whacks into her. But as you open the door, you see before you good old Hadrian, propped up in bed. He normally looks like worse for wear, but this is like worse for wear.
Like shit.
What?
Oh, you look like shit.
Great. He lets out.
If I ran up and hugged him, does it look like I would hurt him?
If you will allow me to get through my description, I would love to tell you.
Wait, I'm excited.
It's okay, no worries. But he's heavily bandaged, and his body looks, for lack of a better word, twisted. Like it's still kind of generally in the same configuration that a body would normally be found in, but his torso is like shifted to the one side, like his entire spine isn't necessarily straight anymore, it's kind of at like a weird curve. His face is beaming and smiling. It's a very disquieting sight at the very least. But his room is filled with all sorts of like comfort items. There are books. There's a fresh vase of flowers. There are blankets piled up at the end of his bed. Along the far wall, there's a window which is streaming in sunlight, and there's a view of the river beyond. But he's smiling at you, and just like grinning from ear to ear, and lets out a laugh at Face's comment.
I'm gonna run in as if to go hug him, and then decide better and grab his claw instead.
Mm-hmm.
And go, Hadrian, are you okay? How are you feeling? Like, is everything all right? I haven't seen you in forever. I've been searching all over the place for you, and what about you? And my father said some things, and I don't know that I fully trust him. And are you okay?
Oh, I have missed you so much. The claw that you're holding, the unbandaged one, he pulls you into not a strong hug, but not a weak one either. As much as he can, his arm is a little shaking as he holds you close and lets you go. Well, I am doing all right. I'm doing the best I can, I suppose. I looked better. I'm the best I can look at my age, but you know, I'm surprised you didn't find me sooner, to be entirely honest.
They were surprised that we found you at all, but they also aren't very keen on their security, I guess.
He turns and looks at the other Dragonboard woman who's standing in the corner by the door. He looks at her a second and then like nods his head, and she leaves and shuts the door. So, I mean, you're alive. That's lovely. What, I heard that you had come back and you raised quite the entrance, or exit, I should say.
I mean, that's what I've always done, right? Raised quite that.
That's very true.
Kind of what I'm best at.
I entirely agree. So, I can't say that my story would be very uplifting or exciting. What have you been up to? What happened?
What happened? What happened with you? You're the missing piece we've been searching for. My story seems kind of bland compared to whatever you did with you defied Mother? That's...
That I did. Well, for the majority it's been pretty boring. I've been, in this room, healing, taking time, doing nothing. It's the blessing and a curse. I don't regret what I did.
You should have let them die.
I couldn't have done that.
You've done more than enough. You've done more than I never thought. I thought you told me because of your sky stone that nothing. I thought you liked Mother. I thought, not that Mother is a horrible person, but
Tell us about it.
I guess I'm a little confused. You always used to reprimand me for not being like her, but yet tell me I was great for not being like her?
Your mother is a complicated dragon, to say the least. That doesn't cover even a fraction of her goodness. As you know, I've known your mother a very long time. I would do anything for her, but a lot of that changed when you came into my life. As much as I was continuously still devoted to her, there was this part of me that knew that if it came down to it, would choose you over her. And it's just a very odd emotion to comprehend. My captain, I would do anything for her child and not her, but it was easier to feel that way as she changed. She wasn't like the person that I signed to be first mate with. She was going places within herself that I could never go, that I could never understand or comprehend, and curse me to say it, I lost faith in her judgment. I lost faith in her. And I mean, was greatly validated by what she decided to do.
What exactly did you try to do? My father tried to tell me, but I don't trust him. I need to hear it from you. I'm sorry if it's hard. You don't need to tell me.
I should be used to talking about it. Before I really got to know your mother, she had been part of a group in Baxalon. They called themselves the Dishonored Descendants. They wished that Baxalon returned to its more primal ways, I suppose I would put it. They felt that in being dragons, they were entitled to a certain way of living. And she was part of that group, but once the group had been discovered, it had been disbanded, and she had sworn loyalty to the Stone Council. She had sworn loyalty to Thaxilon. She had promised that her ways had changed, and I deeply believed that. But in how she was changing, I don't know if this was her madness talking, or if this was something that was true inside her. But she had plans. She was making plans for you. She was talking of things that I couldn't comprehend. I didn't understand where they were coming from. Essentially what she was planning was to destroy many of the other head families, to essentially go on a mass murdering spree, which I managed to talk her down from a few times, and she promised that she had seen the error and that she was going to be fine. And I've always wanted to believe the best in her, and that wasn't true. But she somehow managed to gather enough followers. She had managed to find other dragons who would join her on such a treacherous quest. And she had sent me away so that I couldn't be her voice of reason. Your father, as you know, been distant, going on many trips, keeping his distance, which is horribly selfish. But there were ways that your mother and him would fight, that you were the only thing that she cared about, and that she would do any number of things to make you hers, to keep you hers. And it scared me, and it scared your father, which is why he left so often. But when it came down to it, she sent me away to find out where he had been going, and I received news that she had left, that she had decided to execute this mad plan of hers. And I came back. I offered myself up as her lifelong friend who had come to assist her as first mates do. And I don't regret what I did. It ultimately ended. It stopped her.
But she's still in the capital, right?
I believe so. I have not heard if she had been executed or what plans lay in store for her, but I can imagine that that's a lie. I can't imagine what they would do.
She'd be trying to find you or me. You know that.
Oh, I'm well aware.
So you're safe here.
As far as I know,
I'd say that's debatable.
I agree. I was hoping to leave sooner, but my dedication and resolve to going through this healing naturally has hindered me somewhat.
Hadrian,
Yes.
do you know why my father? Why me?
Your mother, or Verthandi, your mother, had a particular vendetta against Lord Faxes. They used to be very close. Your father was also a member of the Dishonored Descendants, but he is a little more brash and much less impatient. So he grew tired of the amount of planning and patiently waiting that this organization was dedicated to, and he left the group, which never sat well with Adela. So I can only imagine that when the time came for her to execute this plan of hers, she went for the first person she felt had wronged her, to prove a point.
That is my family.
Indeed.
When you move, will we be able to find you?
As much as I would like to say yes, I don't know if sending word of my location will be safe. I don't plan on going far from here until I am certain of Adela's fate. And I don't plan on, as much as I would like to plan on moving far from here sometime soon, I don't think my body will let me.
Well, thank you. For my family, I mean. Or at least my brothers. I don't know about my father.
Yes, I've never seen him look as terrified as he did. Which, a bit of satisfaction on my part. But, I uphold the idea that the clans should remain as they are, should remain structured. So, it was in everyone's best interest that they remain safe.
I leave you guys for a moment.
Are you sure, babe?
I'm gonna head out.
Okay. What's on your mind, little one?
You're really okay? You're gonna make it, right? I didn't let you down by leaving the clan.
No. There's still a lot that I'm having to think about, that I'm having to come to terms with. You go so long with an idea of someone in your head, and to have it shatter, and it shatters the rest of you, that is not something one will easily recover from. So, I'm as alright as I can be, but knowing that you are safe, and knowing that you and him are together, making me feel a bit better.
We'll help you any way we can. You know that, right, Adrian?
I know. Where are you two off to after this? Where have you been for a year?
You've been traveling, learning, making it on our own?
That's wonderful. I'm very proud of you.
Irma's been with us. Do you remember her?
Oh, I remember her. Of course I do. How's she been doing?
She's been kicking Base's butt, teaching him how to fight.
As she should.
I wish you could have joined us.
Oh, I wish that too. But I imagine that my skyship days may be over. As much as it pains me to say it.
She's gonna give him a hug.
Okay. I'm gonna hug back best he can. He's crying a little tiny bit.
Is there any chance with my frequency to pubs and stuff I would have a flask of whiskey I could flip him?
Oh, for fuck's sure. Yeah, you can.
For good luck. I don't know what they're feeding you down here, but this will help you be strong.
Oh, and he takes it, he kind of looks at it, and like his face just like completely lights up. They won't let me have drink. They keep saying it'll mess with whatever potions they've been feeding me, but to hell with it. Thank you.
Remember, if you never need to find us, just look up at the stars. You told me your crew would always wait there for you.
Of course. As soon as your mother has been dealt with in one way or another, you will hear from me. That much is certain.
Good. I don't wish ill upon her, but she does need to be stopped.
I entirely agree. There's part of me who is excited for the news, but the rest of me dreads whatever I may find out. But such is this adventure.
Life's grand adventure.
Indeed.
Thank you.
I'm sure if you're not in a hurry to rush off, you may stay a few days.
I'd love to. I know Base probably wants to talk about you too. Talk to you too.
It's okay, no one can talk tonight, we're fine.
He's talked about you a lot in the past, though he won't admit it.
Oh, I'm sure they've all been nasty, horrible things.
Yeah, he's good at nasty, horrible things. Right? What brothers do, right?
Vicious.
That makes me greatly worried to hear what exactly you've been up to on this year of yours.
Just lots of training. Lots of Nothing to be worried about.
Mm. I'm always a little worried, but it's good to see that you're growing up how you are, and that you're finally tasting some real freedom.
It's not exactly what I thought it'd be. But
It never is.
hey, you can come back in if you want.
I guess I'm coming back in.
Okay. But I'm going to summarize this real quick, but I assume you, the three of you, talk a lot more about this year off. Met with much delight. He can't literally scold you for anything. He's just really happy that you're here and alive and safe. At some point, the Dragonborn lady comes back and mentions that there's another Dragonborn on your ship. Is it okay if she's let in? And Adrian's, of course. Irma kind of stomps down, is very grumpy about being left behind for so long. You get a good earful. She and Hadrian exchange loud, happy remarks. But when she comes down, so as I was waiting for your numbskulls to remember that I exist, there was a bird that was perched up amongst your sails there, and when I went to go leave, it flew down and started whacking at me. But I think this is for you, and hands out a little piece of paper.
And she eats the bird.
Is she gonna introduce her to me?
She just holds it out to either of you.
I take it.
Alright. Oh wow, look at that Nezra note.
Hey, we gotta go, it's from Nezzy!
Daddy,
We gotta go right now!
Look at that great handwriting.
He wants us to go to the capital? He says he needs our help.
How much is he paying?
He's not paying.
Rude!
I don't think so.
Well, then you can stay behind with Hadrian. I'm going.
I give Hadrian a look like, oh my god. And I look back at her, and I look at Irma, and I just swallow the anger. And I say, okay.
Hadrian and Irma kind of look at each other, and then look at you, and then look at each other, and just start laughing. But Hadrian looks back at the two of you. Well, I guess you'll be off then.
We have to go help our friend Nezzy. He needs our help. That's what this letter says. And you taught me that a captain always protects her crew, and Nezzy's part of my crew, and so I need to go take care of him.
I would expect nothing less from such a wonderful captain.
I knew you would understand. And she turns and she goes to grab Base's hand to lead him out the door and decides against it and runs out the door.
Irma looks at Base, and then looks after Verthandi and goes, well, I guess I'm staying here then, which I don't mind. Adrian and I have some catching up to do.
Do me a favor and look after this too. It might give you something new to check out. And I'm gonna leave my book of fairy tales with Hadrian.
Okay.
That's it. And then I'm gonna follow Verthandi.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright. You guys scuttle back up onto the ship without a hitch. And take off for the capital.
Off to find Nezzy.
Off to find the boy.
Oh god. Oh god.
So, I'm gonna roll 3 dice to see.
Who gets there first?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Okay, hang on. I can actually hang on. So
Advantage because we're the closest.
Hans.
Yeah, but we'll find this.
we got Mel is some copper dice. We got
Oh, I thought that's when I rolled. I was like, yes!
Base and Verthandi are gonna be black and red, because that's the closest thing I can come to either of your colors. Or I got red. And then Hans is gonna be my pale one. So Hans gets there first. Base and Verthandi get there second. And Mal's just chugging up the rear from
Mel's strolling in. Hey guys!
Scotland.
Walks in with
I probably got
Starbucks.
to the Capitol around like the same time they did, but did like other things, and then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go see Nessie.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Lagertha
I'm glad
has,
I'm your first priority, not in your, like, chasing dead ends for your dead girlfriend.
Not dead!
Lagertha has been gathering some information in the capital ahead of time, so you have to check in with her.
Yeah!
Lagertha figure out that Nezrin was in the capital?
Lagertha knows. Lagertha
Yeah, Lagertha had visited Nesrin earlier in the year.
Oh, that's right, I forgot that.
She popped in and was like, "You're the boy whose head is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Tell me
Oh
things."
yeah, I forgot that. He was like, oh, what the heck are you? I can't deal with this.
So I know where you are, Nesrin. That's why I'm not too worried.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Alright.
I
So-
took the time to write a nice note. It was even legible.
I know.
Ew.
Somehow.
Ella's very proud.
So the way this is gonna run, just for flavor reasons, but Hans gets there first. I'm saying like each of these arrivals are like a day apart. So Hans, you arrive in the capital, the normal smells and sounds greet you. So you know you're in the capital. And the people accompanying you start leading you to, or at least just taking you toward like the library. They pull up to the front of it, and the one goes, "Would you like accompaniment inside?"
Well, yeah, I know I've been there, like, I went there the first session, but
Yeah.
had I ever been there before that?
Maybe once or twice.
Okay. Okay, well, I figure I'll take one with me and just be like,
Mhm.
oh, just help me find Nesrin. That would help.
Sure.
And then after that, I think we'll be safe. I don't see anything happening
Listen
here.
for the angry muttering.
Sure. So you're accompanied by one of the guards, and as you go inside, the air immediately changes into this cool surrounding by echoing cold stone, with faint shuffling in the distance as there are many people are wandering about. Guys are approached by. Hang on.
Velios, Priv, Anzi, Idiri. She's probably
Okay.
still in the rookery.
Hang on, friends. I'm gonna go grab my headphones. My roommate just came home.
Hello,
Oh, yeah.
Nessie!
Okay. Do you want to meet my emotionally tormented Dungeons and Dragons crew?
Hey, Fran.
Hi. This is Lee. Everyone say hi to Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Are you torturing them yet?
I mean, not
Not directly.
Have you kids been tortured?
No.
Gotta ease back in.
Twice we need help.
Mild emotional stress, I think is the
Yeah, well, that's just Bays in general. Actually, this one
Please, how would you describe yourself? Mild emotional distress.
mildly distressful.
Face is summarized by screaming internally.
Yeah. Mild emotional distress.
Yeah.
I hope no one ever reads Base's mind. So what's he thinking? Ah! Never mind.
She has.
from Rick and Morty with the sun that comes up, and they're like, oh, look at the lovely sunrise, and then it just, that's crazy.
As soon as he wakes up in the morning, ah!
Gotta get the screaming.
Yeah, anyone wondering what the montage of their year off was? It was just bass screaming. That's all it was.
It was a lot of like fighting and like jumping around and base, like in the office style, like base looking at the camera, like.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, we have blind children now. Verthandi is also deaf. Surprise.
Cool.
All that screaming.
But okay, so Hans, you and your guard are approached by, I just had it pulled up. A white dragonborn. But you don't know the white dragonborn, but a dragonborn walks up to you too. The guard inquires. Yeah. We received word that what's
Oh
his
no,
name?
I wasn't supposed to tell anyone.
Nezran Assyria?
Nezran Osirio, and the white dragonborn looks at the two of you and goes, "Oh, yes, Nezran, we sure." She turns. The guard says, "All right, we're going this way." And
I'm probably near a giant stack of books complaining about people and their attempts at reshelving.
yeah, she leads the pair of you up a few floors, looking around once in a while, poking her snout down some aisles. Nezran, nope, not down here. Eventually gets to the floor he is on. Hans, in the distance, you hear
There's a
loud
system.
angry muttering.
There's a system, and we can follow it, and if you don't follow it, everything gets rearranged.
I turn to my guard friend and be like, I think I'm alright, thank you.
We end up in this situation, and I have to do 2 people's worth of work, and it's
One of us is going to be
confounding.
hanging around this general area, the library. If you need anything, let us know.
Certainly.
Blind boys alive.
Hey, we're freaking stones. We know we can read.
We can read.
And your guard leaves.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, I'm an important person. I know how to do this. I don't need help.
Follow the voice.
Yeah. The white dragonborn that led you to Nezran. Nezran, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I told you. Oh, sorry.
Nezran, it's Auntie. Hi. There's someone here to see you. You can kind of like grabs Hans and like pushes him forward a little bit.
Hello. I'm
You're
not
gonna need
entirely
to
sure where you are, but hello.
Oh, hello. Hello.
I got your letter.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Excellent. I wasn't sure where anyone. God damn it, sir.
Well,
Sure where anyone was, so I kind of just guessed.
well, you
Nezran, you feel hands on your shoulder and like slightly turning you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry. It looked very, very odd. I didn't mean to be rude.
It's all right. It kind of goes
But are you-
with.
Nezran, you know you. I'm gonna go. I have something to. I'm okay. Bye.
All
Are
right.
two of them looking at each other?
They weren't until she fixed it.
vague direction of muttering, ah yes.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Nice to
Just
see
like
you.
hold each other to make sure they're looking at each other.
Yeah. So she basically just went.
I'm gonna like reach out a claw and kind of. I'm guessing I can like feel where Hans is.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. We figure it out. We sit. You were probably sitting, but
Huh.
I'll sit down in a
Um,
not occupied area.
There's a table. I know where the table is. I'm gonna try and find his arm. Do I succeed in
Oh my
finding
god.
his arm?
You can find his. I'm not gonna have you roll for arm. You find his arm.
I'm gonna,
Roll
like,
for arms.
We can go over this way and sit. And
Alright.
nice to. I was going to say it was nice to see you, but
Yep, I know.
Obviously.
Yep.
yep. I'm assuming your year has been just about as many blind jokes as mine has been.
Oh, definitely.
It's lovely to see you, Nezrin. How's the weather, Nezrin? I wouldn't know.
Well, at least we can feel it.
I mean, we can,
Better?
but, you know.
Better
How's
now?
the sky today? I don't know. I'm assuming it's still blue.
It's humid, so I'm assuming it's gray.
Yeah, you know. Find a table, I guess is it.
Oh, well...
Attempt to sit. Little knock ankles.
Attempt to not knock things over as we
I mean-
sit down.
Yeah.
You know, how that goes.
After a few minutes of
Functioning
like, or
creatures.
not, a few moments of like, moving things around, you two eventually, you sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
And I'll just like... So, I assume you got the letter?
What are we looking for, Nesrin?
I'm not sure.
Then how am I supposed to help you? I'm happy to be moral support and get out of my house,
very
but you
much
know.
appreciate the moral support. I could really use some of that around here. It's been a year.
Yes, it has.
It's been a year. So
There's a system, fuckers.
yeah.
Doing decimal, bitch, have you heard of it?
There's assistants around the library.
I do that doing decimal.
I'm just feeling really bad for this guard that's watching this whole interaction. Like it's so
They left.
They
The
left.
guards have no, these two are on their own, as far as they're
They
aware.
came upon me angrily muttering, and they're just kind of like, "Alright, you got this."
I feel like there's one patron of the library that frequents just to watch Nezrin interact with people and things.
Oh yes,
They're
there's some.
always just hovering like from 10, 20 feet afar, watching, see what he's gonna do today.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of angry muttering and sorting books. Like literally, it's been his life. And getting hit with training swords. There's that too. But so I'll probably have to explain this several times. Basically, there's this other person. They've told me they're an elf. I can't verify it, but so supposedly there's an elf. They sound like an asshole. They are a bit of an asshole. But they told me of this tomb that apparently has some great storage of knowledge of healing magic, and thought maybe, you know, that's the whole purpose of this whole motley crew, is to go out and get books and things and bring them back, and then, you know, keep them in the, you know, not exactly free state, but, you know, open for anyone to read, so to speak. Barring, you know, if you want to go into lower levels, that's slide access, which, regardless, getting off topic. So there's supposedly this tomb of this ancient druid who was apparently, it's like every elf I meet is a bit of an asshole lately, so, well, Fezzik's just a little jumpy. And that's not his fault. But there was this old Feywild elf fellow who was really good at healing magic and, like, had all this knowledge, but then he decided when he died that he wanted it buried with him, so he was an asshole. And apparently, Aston just vanished. You know, this apparently
I'm still listening.
popped up where information has come about it, and I thought,
Let's go on another tomb adventure, that's what you thought.
well, it was my first thought, you know, I wasn't the first one didn't go that well.
No.
So, you know. But, you know, I thought maybe if it could fix my, and possibly if you want your current predicament, then it might be worth it. And, honestly, it would be better than sitting around here and dealing with people and getting my face whacked in by training swords every other day. But that's not really happening because Isla left, so I've kind of just been... Nobody really knows what to do with me, and it's kind of like a... not sure how to treat me, and I'm a little offended, you know. I'm blind, not broken, you know. So, I really just don't want to be here anymore, but I don't really have anywhere else to go, so this kind of seems like the best way to do it, and, you know, she was like, hey, don't you have friends that could help you with this? And I was like, well, I guess I do. We kind of, half of us died, and several of us went unconscious, and 2 of us got blinded, and 1 of us got our face crushed in, and it was a whole...
The good old bonding
It
through
was
trauma.
It was a romp, a thrilling romp through this temple. So, that's the long and the short of it. If you really want to come, I can understand, you know, it's a little...
No, I'm on board. I don't know how much help I'll be, but...
Basically. I mean...
Especially if we're looking for something.
If the others even got my letter, because I'm not really
True.
supposed to leave the library on my own still, because obviously I'm going to get lost and get myself into all sorts of trouble, and then I'll just be of no use to anyone. Obviously, I can't manage anything on my own. I'm very competent, but, you know, I'm blind. So that's the long and the short of it. It's kind of... but I did try... I have no idea where Verthandi is. Maybe Mel got them? I don't know. I'm hoping it got to Verthandi, because she has an airship, and that would make it a lot easier than trying to walk on land. Because then you have to deal with forests, and forests have roots, and a bit of tripping involved in that.
Is tripping involved when you can see perfectly well alone?
Yeah. I'd prefer this, but I don't know exactly where to find her and Baze, because they've run off who knows what,
Right.
canoodling and such.
Well...
I mean, if you're willing, apparently I have a week until this...
You have less than a week. It's taken a few days for everyone to get there. You have 2 days.
A couple days until this information goes to the head of the order, in which point I will definitely not be allowed to go. So I would really hope people come. Otherwise, it'll be nice to have spoken to you again, and I hope you're well, and welcome to the capital.
Thank you.
I've been talking to another person in like a year.
Yes. And they never really know how to talk to us anymore, do they?
No, it's more like, oh, you're blind. Oh dear, we should... Not sure how to handle that. I'm still mostly functioning. I just can't see. I did get these really nifty boots that help a little bit with that. Can't see, but, you know, nullified a little bit, but still. I can function fairly well, but, you know.
You can still write, which I was impressed by.
I was also amazed that was legible. So, I did that on my first try.
Excellent.
I was very proud of myself for that. I did that 3 times. It went pretty well, considering. I rolled a natural 20.
I rolled faith dice fairly well, if you would.
I rolled a nice fate. Yeah. So, if you... I don't know what else has showed up, so I mean...
do you have any
I don't know what
leads?
your schedule's like, so...
I don't have a schedule, Nesrin. I'm here, and... God. I would love to read some books that are not the same bloody volumes over and over again. So if I can help you in your search...
We have so many books, Hans, it's amazing.
I realize that it's
there
library.
are,
But I mean relevant books.
yeah. So I found, like, one book on this guy, and I can show you where that is. And then we have some, non-fiction. There's a recipe section.
Fascinating.
Which
There's,
walkers into frequently.
At this point, you hear the faintest little pat, 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 and then you hear, Nazrin!
do I recognize the gate?
It's
And the voice.
Idriru.
Oh, it's
Idriru. Nazrin, Mom's head. I'm right here.
Rotate me. Okay. Pat my. I'm just like. I feel like we will like set up a system where she like pats my chest.
Yeah, either that or she would like gently just like boop your cheeks.
Okay. Oh yes. Hello.
So all of the ravens came back. So none of them were eaten or anything like that. They all came back without their letters. So
I hope that usually bodes well, right?
yeah, that's usually a good sign, and none of them look harmed in any way. So
That's very good. You did really, really good. Okay.
Hi, I'm a Drew.
This is Hans. This is my friend Hans.
Hello.
He's blind like me.
Oh no. I'm holding out my hand. Wait here. She grabs yours and like puts it in her very, very small hand, and she kind of gives a little shake.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah. Hi. I'm a Drew. I live here at the library.
You went with me to the temple.
Wow. Didn't everyone go blind in the temple?
No, just us.
I don't mean to be rude. Was that rude? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Really,
Fine.
you're
It
alright.
was just him and me. It was just him and me. Everyone else was
It was
relatively
unfortunate.
unscathed.
Don't
I
wear
have not
glasses
mentioned prison
on
to her.
adventures. Just don't.
I mean, I see okay, so I don't need glasses.
Excellent. You should be fine.
Wait, I didn't mention prison to her. She doesn't know.
She
about
doesn't
craft
need
in
to
prison.
know. She doesn't
Yeah.
need to know.
Figured out.
Small
She's
child
like
does
9
not
years
need to
old.
know about the
Little
dead
young
body.
What's her name?
Idriru?
Idriru. I just kept hearing Riru, and I was like,
Riru.
that's adorable.
Idriru. I mean, Riru might be a nickname.
I will call her Riru. I will now call her Riru.
Yeah. Her name is Idriru.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean,
Are your other friends here?
no, not yet. I don't know if they're coming. I hope they come. That would be swell.
We don't know where they're coming from, so it may
That's
have
the
been a
other
longer
thing.
trip than
I'm
normal.
amazed that the one bird found Verthandi in her I'm going all over the world skyship. Who knows where they are?
I mean, they're very smart birds and they listen to me real
They are
good.
very smart birds, and you've trained them very well.
Thanks.
Right? Did you need anything?
No,
Your mother said something.
well, she said that you'd be here.
Okay,
But no, I just wanted to tell you about the ravens. Yeah, can I ask you a favor?
Yes.
When the other, adventurers get here, can I meet them too?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. Okay. I hope they get here soon.
Okay.
Also, Aldwin was looking for you.
Of course she was. Alright, thank you. You can tell her if you see her.
Okay.
Just tell her
Um,
I'll be here, or, just
Mhm.
listen for my screaming.
Sure. Mom's gonna make dinner tonight. So if you and your friend want some dinner, Mom's gonna make some.
We will find you. Let me know when your mom's made dinner, and we'll join you for dinner, okay?
Oh yay. I'm walking away now.
Okay, thank you, Miru.
You hear, I'm really far away now.
Okay. Look where you're going. Oh, she means well.
Is everyone that polite?
No, her and her mother are very nice. Aldwin is an asshole.
Alright.
Fezzik means well, but Fezzik will jump at his own shadow, so, he's Fezzik. He's Fezzik. And I really don't want to run into Aphelios, because then he'll be like, why is your friend here? And I will have to explain things. I'm not good at improving.
Should
Off
I
the cuff.
hide?
I mean, we could work on that. I could hide you in my room.
I mean, I could take some books and go up there if it's easier for.
I mean, you could just be I
could be a patron.
You could be a patron, though they probably just told him that you're here, so that's probably not a good thing. We could just act like you've come to visit. Figure that out later.
Alright.
I'll just, lead Hans to, some books.
Yeah, I'm sure, you give a little bit of a tour of, so this is where I've spent my year. I know where everything is.
I'm awesome.
Yeah. Chattering on, as the two of you do. More Nezun than Hans, but what else is new?
Basically. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
I'm sure a couple of your cohorts are like, why are the two, I understand the one blind kid's been here with books, but why is the blind kid giving the other blind kid, what the fuck is this library?
All of the memes that could grow out of this.
Yeah, so, you two spend the rest of the day, have some dinner, with Onzi and Idruru, where it is the closing of the evening.
I'll just see if I can sneak Hans. Did I have my own room, or was I sharing a room with someone? I don't know.
You had a roommate. I don't remember if we decided if it was Alduin or Crib.
Oh god, it was Alduin.
I mean, if my guards are, sticking around, I imagine they have, lodgings or something, or would expect me to stay with them.
Yeah.
But I could probably fuck them off.
Then I guess I'll, bid Hans farewell and be like, I guess I'll send word tomorrow if anyone shows up.
Alright. I'll probably come back, honestly.
Okay. I mean,
it's far more interesting than anything I've been able to read the past.
Oh yes, there's
5 months.
plenty of books I haven't even gotten through an entire floor. It's a lot.
Yes.
Alright.
Alright,
Goodbye.
good night.
Alright. So your guards come and fetch you. There's pretty high-end lodgings that you're led to and you stay in. Based in Verthandi. Coming in hot.
Did we essentially come in most likely to show up till least likely to show up order?
I mean,
In general.
kind of. But it doesn't take that long for you guys to hop from where you were to the capital. Doesn't really. Are you going by skyship or?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. So you hop over. It's early morning when you arrive. Just making it. Yeah, beeline in for the library.
Huh?
All right, it's 8:30, 9 in the morning.
I'm asleep.
I wish I was.
I am asleep.
I am up.
Of course.
Yeah, the library doors are just now being unlocked and being slowly opened. You're very sleepy.
Don, you have a rapid pace on.
Oh god.
We're opening the. Oh, who is here this early?
Hi, I'm here to see Nezra Nasiria.
What have I done?
Okay. kind of look at each other.
To the library?
The one goes, well, we're technically open. The other goes, I mean, okay, does he know you're coming?
Yes, he knows we're coming. He sent us a letter. I and his captain.
And I am hungry.
Nice to meet you, Captain Hungry.
Nice to meet
Sure.
you, the least cool of the small ones that I've met. Let's go.
I'm like the same height as you, dude.
Who is? I thought this was Jiru. I assumed.
No, Jiru was like...
She's like 9 years old. She can't open big old metal doors.
No? She sounded like the same voice. I was just following that, like, character.
Sorry.
It's all good. Whatever.
Slight.
She's shorter than me. Anyway, it's fine.
They get one of the doors fully open. The library's still kind of dark, just the earliest bits of sunlight coming in through the roof and some various windows that are high up. It's dead quiet. There is no one around.
Maybe he's still sleeping. Should we look in the library?
Let's go
Please
check
don't
the
steal
library.
books. Please don't steal more books.
Can I see if I can find anything on Morgul?
Let's see. Make a perception check first.
Okay.
Ask someone.
I'm gonna casually just pull books out and like set them on awkward shelves.
15.
15. Kind of run up to sort of the edge of this floor. If you recall, this is kind of just like a big fucking building of books.
As long as I don't have recipes, I'm good.
Yeah.
It was one time. It was one time.
You kind of look around. There are signs that are written in a couple languages, but you're currently on like a non-fiction floor. It's more like tourist information, like welcome to Kalek. This is what you may find here. Informative books, very much like AAA travel guides. But along the one wall, there's like a vague guide of the different floors. And there's a big section of floors that... Let me pull up the list, actually. Hang on, I have a list of what floors are there in the library.
You do. You said that you mean.
You should have made recipes.
You,
I'm still just pulling books and swapping books and doing stupid things.
maybe like...
But like casually.
I'm
Yeah,
like probably
this
just
is-
now waking up.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're asleep.
Well, like, as you guys are finding books.
Dangerous and restricted books.
You can't go there.
Guess where they're gonna go first?
It doesn't say
restricted.
Okay. Wait, does it?
It says restricted.
No, it says-
Dangerous restricted books. It does not
is that-
say
but
that it's...
wait, I'm a little confused by how this breaks down in terms of what is not allowed.
34 is legible floors. 2 floors are restorative laboratories. 2 floors are housing. 1 floor is dangerous restricted books.
And then it's 11 floors are magical, blah, blah, blah. You need a pass to get there. Or,
For the necromancy, you need to
but
pass.
it doesn't say that's part of the 11 floors. The 1 floor of dangerous restricted books is separate from the 11 floors that say that you need a pass.
No, you only need a pass for the necromancy section.
This list is written, I realize now, in reverse. It goes 2 floors, restorative laboratories at the bottom. 2 floors are housing,
Oh, I didn't realize they were
restricted
in order.
level. 11 floors, and then 18 floors.
That's fine.
Huh.
But it still doesn't say that we need a pass for restricted books.
No, it
Well, it's
doesn't.
restricted.
It's restricted!
Can I sneak into the restricted book?
Oh my god.
Told
You
you!
can,
You haven't even
No.
been here an hour!
I mean, you can certainly try.
Or with
Yeah.
maybe a lock.
Can I go to where that floor is and see what the security looks like?
God. I knew I was going to regret this.
Just because you can.
There's about...
That's obviously where the treasure is kept.
There's about 6 floors leading down that you have to run through to get to that particular level.
Okay.
So you just take off running down to
Yep.
the floor. The level that you reach that is the restricted books, make a perception check.
I'm like getting out of bed, kind of
I
getting
make one too.
dressed.
Sure.
22.
Oh, I don't,
Okay.
I don't need one of those. I have one, but not a natural one, just a regular one.
Okay.
Basie's-
Just a
Basically,
Some regular ones. So as you reach down to, or you run the floor above it, you run past a dragonborn who is also stretching and yawning, going around and lighting the torches that are for the lower floors. Kind of gives you a confused look as you race past them. But you get down to this level that the restricted books are on. You see stairs that like continue downward, but it looks like it's just a wall that goes all the way around.
Wait, what?
It's a wall.
Is it?
It's a wall. There's no door.
I'm
there's
saying
no
like the
nothing.
stairs end at a wall.
No.
No, the stairs. You guys are on a big old spiral staircase. They continue downward to the floors below, but
Can we check the wall
the
out.
floor that like as you come down the stairs, most of these floors open out into like shelves that extend backward. The floor that this is on is just a wall.
Okay.
Does
but
it look magical to me? Does it remind me of the floor that we tried to get through in the temple?
Make an Arcana check.
Can I make one too?
Sure.
Hold on. Hold on.
I got a 10.
Wait. I have an 18.
Okay. So Verthani, you look around. It's a wall. Wow. Look at lovely smooth workmanship. Base. You guys continue like put your hand on the wall, walk a few feet. You sense that this wall is vaguely magical. There are definitely enchantments at work here, but it's not illusion
I'm
based.
gonna put my hand on the wall. It's like, could I feel it?
Wowie, look at that wall.
That I can feel it, right?
It's a wall. Stone wall.
I'm gonna cast Knock,
Okay.
which I get to choose an object that you can see within range. The object can be a door, a box, a chest, a set of manacles, padlock, or any other object contains a mundane or magical means that prevents access. A target that is held shut by mundane lock or blah blah blah, whatever. Where is it? Hold on. If you choose a target that is held shut with arcane lock, that spell is suppressed for 10 minutes, during which time the target can be opened and shut normally. When you cast that spell, a loud knock audible from as far away as 300 feet emanates from the target object.
Does it have to make like a save or anything?
No.
No, it just suppresses. It just suppresses
Does
any.
it specifically have to be like a door?
No.
Well, I mean, no. It says. Where's one?
So it would essentially act normal if it was a
With
door.
arcane lock that is spell suppressed for 10 minutes. So assuming if it's bard or
It's only a second level spell. This is
Yeah,
the capital of the city.
and this is a door.
I'm
Tells
think-
everyone pretty much that we're doing it, but
I mean, I'm thinking of the wording that, like, I have an enchant, like, I have how this floor is accessed in my head, and I'm trying to, like, I'm lining up the wording to see if there would be any way this would work.
I invite you people into my library. First, you steal a book, and now you're trying to get.
I'm not trying to steal it if that makes you feel any better.
like it doesn't specifically say it has to be a door. It's like
You're
locked.
not here yet, Mel. So
I'm not gonna steal a door.
no, I know, but
So you touch the wall and you feel it, and you cast this spell. Nothing happens to the wall, but you very, very, very faintly hear knocking from the other side of the floor.
The other side
Of the wall?
So, center, you guys are on the outside, just came down the steps. You hear almost in too late now, I already said. Very faint knocking from, like, this direction.
The door is somewhere else.
Right.
I'm kind of getting dressed, tying on my little blindfold.
I turned to Verthandi. The door is somewhere else.
I think she heard the knock.
Yeah, but still.
Can I detect magic?
You can detect magic.
I'm sorry, yes. I didn't know.
No, you're fine.
You should have done that before he suppressed the spell. You might not be able to sense it now.
We have 10 minutes, and I have two more spell slots.
We just gotta be careful nobody comes after us.
They don't know what we're doing.
Loud.
Well, the door was very loud, but we're gonna be
let's
lost
see.
if someone
So,
us.
Okay, yes.
you sense abjuration, which is protecting stuff, illusion, making stuff seem like other stuff, enchantment, and evocation,
Evocation is
destroying stuff.
destroying stuff.
And are they all coming? Is any of them coming from where the noise came from?
It's kind of emanating from everywhere.
Lovely. I got shit.
I mean, it's also a library full of dangerous and magical books, so maybe.
This is the thing I sent you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have other stuff that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't have
for it.
anything either.
I could try and identify the wall if you really want me to identify the wall.
No, it's okay. I'm going to not being able to find anything and hearing that Base's knock made a very loud noise. I'm going to run away from the section in question.
I'm making my way down to get some breakfast, some coffee.
I'm gonna try and find the first person I see in the library. I want to approach them.
Okay. So
Like
there's...
Their structure heard this knock.
Shh.
They don't know it was us.
So are you heading up or down?
Up, I guess.
Okay. They're making your way back up. You eventually catch back up to the Dragonborn that's been making their way around lighting the... lighting the torches.
Hi, excuse me. You must know this library really well. Can you help me?
They very slowly turn. Yes?
Have you any books on more gold? Maybe under fantasy, maybe under fiction, it may be under real life people. I need to know if you have any books on him.
I've never heard the name, but you do well to look in the floors above. I'd usually start at the top and work my way down.
I need to find it very, very quickly. Song. It's a song.
That doesn't... could check in the music section.
Dwarven song.
You could check in the music section, but that's more for, sheet music. Dwarvish history would be, 10 or so floors up to the left, and then right.
No. It's a Dwarvish story, but the story is about a Dragonborn.
Dwarvish history is up about 10 floors. To the left
I'm
and
Verthandi.
the right.
Okay, she's going.
We're gonna go wherever the history books are. Is where we're gonna go.
But I found the other book in fairy tales.
That's true. Are history and fiction somewhere near each other?
No.
All right, you go. You go to.
I'll go to fairy tales. You go to history. Frank.
What?
Okay. Both of you roll investigation checks.
I get advantage.
Still slowly
That was a
practice.
natural one.
Oh,
Okay,
babe.
base.
Favorite
Good
terrain.
to know.
Favorite terrain is libraries.
No, favorite train is fairy tales.
Huh?
Nazrin, your favorite train is libraries.
That's very true.
17.
17. Alright. Base Verthandi goes, break! And you go, try and look around for the nearest section that looks like decent. Huh?
I say I end up in recipes.
Oddly enough, you kind of freeze for a second. You're like, alright, I don't want to look stupid. I'm just gonna start walking. And lo and behold, you end up in a section that is nowhere close to what you're looking. You find like this section on like catalogs of like old home goods and like craft books.
You're
Ye old
you're doing
Sears.
fabrics.
You find quite a few good like quilting pattern books.
Nice.
You found Joanne's.
Yeah. Verthandi, you start racing up the floors. You find yourself eventually in fiction, and you reach a floor that's like if there could be a Twilight equivalent for Dragonborns, it's like the tween fantasy section, or as fantasy as you can be in Dungeons and Dragons.
It's about just normal everyday humans.
Fiction. They call that fiction.
Slice of life manga.
Yeah.
I'm finishing breakfast, probably like trying to find Anzi and seeing if she wants me to like sort something today.
I realize that this library is fucking huge, and is probably waking up. And I go and try and find Base.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh boy!
I'm just switching.
Base got a natural 1.
I'm lost.
Days is lost in Joanne fabrics.
Oh shit.
Base is in Mexico.
Base is just like swapping books out. And
Natural 20!
Stop
Natural
wrecking my
20.
sorting system.